All right, well, good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Ms. Janet Smith Tolale. She is going to provide tonight's Monday night director's training right here live on our TLC HQ Facebook channel. So go ahead and get your pens, paper ready, and get tuned in. Please, if you can, go ahead and share this feed with your team, with your group. Ask people to go ahead and engage on tonight's live training. I'm going to turn it over to you, Janet. The floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate giving me the opportunity to come on here and share what I do online and offline as I do my retail. So I'm greatly, I'm grateful basically for you guys allowing me to be on here. But I want to go ahead and like last week, I did the interview with Kenny Lloyd, and you kind of know my backstory. Basically, I was introduced to TLC through the T, like a lot of us are, due to surgeries and stuff like that, an accident that I had and wanted to detox, And so once I was introduced to TLC, I was able to, I decided that I wanted to become a business partner as well, because if I'm able to lose weight without having to do surgery, there's so many other people that need to be exposed to TLC, not just the products, but also just all the products in general, because that way they can get their health back. Like I said, I'm able to get, TLC has changed my life in totally different ways. One is my health. I'm able to do so much more. I've been able to lose the 80 pounds with the solution kit, as you're already aware of. Also, I've used Gano, which has also improved my health and everything like that, along with and different things. But also, I'm able to make extra income by exposing the company, by exposing the products to everybody that I go in contact with. And I do it in different ways. Like I said before, I do offline and I also do online. What I want to go ahead and go over is the offline first, because that's basically how I started. I started offline. What I did is basically I did events, and the different types of events that I did were I went to women events. I went to Mommy and Me events. I've been invited to doing a surgery. People who have had the gastric or the sleeve, they need products, because one of the things that they need after the fact is that they need supplements. And one of the best things that they can have is our NutriVerse. So we were me in a group, because I also was involved with groups locally that were also IBOs like mine. We went out and did events together. And so basically, like I said, we did the surgery ones, we did the Mommy and Me ones, we did different types of events locally. And how we found them is we went online on Facebook, or even word of mouth. Basically on Facebook, you can go to, if you Google, what you can do is on Facebook, on the search, just have to search for different things. You can type in the search bar. Like for me, since I'm here in Atlanta, what I do is I search for Atlanta vendor events. And so I join those groups that are local, or I also sometimes expand. I go to Alabama, or I go to down south outside of Atlanta. But I join those groups, and that's how I am able to find these different events. And there's so many different types of events: fashion shows, like I said, health shows, women's shows, natural product shows, just so many things, events. That's one way that I do locally as far as retail goes. That's how I expose my business, and that's how I retail as well. Another thing that I did offline was do, of course, the number one thing, the main thing that we do is wow parties. I've had parties here at my home, and also at other people's homes as well, to introduce the products. What we do is we sample. And that's one of the biggest things that you need to do when you're offline and when you're meeting people belly to belly, in face to face, basically. We sample products. So when we do have a wow party, and if you're new to the business, that's one of the first things you want to do, because you want to expose your business, that you're a new business owner, that you are new to the company, and that you found something so beneficial for them health-wise and also financial-wise if they want to become a business partner. You can sample the tea. That's one of the things that we do is sample the tea. We also sample the NRG, because that's also a wow product that they get an instant result. Another thing is the NutriBurst. That's one of our staples, our favorites, of course, is the NutriBurst, is that we can sample as well. And you just show them the products and have it a nice display. As you can see, I have these banners behind me. This one that I made, these are old banners, but basically it shows my before and after. It has some of the products, and these are the old product things, but it has on their products and what they are. Of course, it has my information, lose 5 pounds in 5 days. And then this is my other one. This is what gets a lot of people is the emu oil, which of course it helps. We love the emu oil. This E is for everything. But these are two of my main banners that I carry when I do local events. Invest in your business. I invested in these banners. I invest in a lot of marketing tools. And these are some of my main ones that I do when I do local events. And I suggest you invest in that as well. Other things that we do is set up in local shops. I do my hair. So of course, if I'm gonna do my hair, my salon, I would like for her to offer some of the products in her salon as well. So you can go to salons, you can go to barbershops. I have a customer that he liked the products and he has friends because it's better for male. In my case, the male, were shy away and talk to me about the strike up. So I had one of my clients offer it to them. And so I have now going to be having my strike ups in a barbershop. So that's another way to do offline locally, so you can market your business and get retail. And that's one of the things that I'm doing as well. Of course, when I first started, I did flyers. I did about 200, 400 flyers, and I went to 2 different huge parking lots. The first one I went to was close by when I had my niece, my nephew, my daughter. We put flyers, little small flyers. I didn't do the big ones, but little small flyers that with my information before and after picture, and we posted on every single car that was out there in the parking lot. Then, because I am bilingual, I speak Spanish is my primary language. I went to a Hispanic neighborhood, where there's a lot of Hispanics here in Atlanta, and I did the same thing, but I had it in Spanish. And so I had passed out all these different flyers, put it on the cars, and that's what I did. I put it on all the cars that were in the parking lot. So that's another way for you to expose your business. That's another way for people to learn about the products and everything like that. That's one of the things I did. I did that mostly in the beginning. I don't do that as much now because I have more of my clientele built up locally, but that's what I did initially to build my business. Another thing that I do, like I said, the flyers, I also have a car magnet on my car. So whenever I go anywhere, guess what? My vehicle is a traveling car magnet because it has, lose 5 pounds in 5 days. So people ask me, I'm in a parking lot, they'll ask me, what is this lose 5 pounds in 5 days? And I go there. And another thing that I do is I always carry samples on me. Why? Because that way you can go ahead and sample them products. Twice I've lost business. Why? Because I didn't have my products on hand. Never again, because I always have my products. What I do is I have these right here, and these are little pouches right here that you can buy. I buy these on Amazon, and they come like 100 in a pair. They're less than $10, but you can buy them on Amazon. But what I do is I package them up. See my business card. It has the TLC sheet with the products. I have NRG in there, and I have the tea, and I also have Delgada. Depending on what they're wanting or what they're, I question them, are you, do you look for energy? Or are you looking to detox? Things like that. So depending on what they want and need, this is what I give them. Okay. So this is one of the things. I also have it when I do vendor events. I package it up like this. So this is a week's supply of tea with my business card, and of course with the product sheet that's in there. So this is what I do locally. One of the biggest things going back, I should have started from the beginning. But one of the biggest things you have to do when you're starting a business is you want to be a product of your product. And before you are able to have your own story, borrow somebody else's story. You know, when I first started, one of the friends that I've met locally, her name was Kim, and she lost over 160 pounds with TLC. You know, so what did I do? I used her testimony. I used so many other people's. Another one of my business partners, Miss Erica, she lost over 50 pounds. Guess what? I used her testimony. So until you build your own testimony, use somebody else's story. And until when I got my testimony, this is what I did. I bought these on Vistaprint. You see my before and after picture, and it has my information, my IBO. I made myself on Vistaprint. If you're new to Vistaprint, you can actually get 500 for free. So invest in your business so that you can market your business correctly. And initially, just do generic ones. But then as you get your own story, make sure that you do the before and after of your own story. And the reason why I say that is because when they grab this and they have this, they'll remember your face. So once they look at the business card, they'll say, oh, I remember her, you know. And because you're a product of the product and they see you in person, that's how I'm able to leverage my retail offline, is because I'm able to show them in person, not so Photoshop or anything like that, or somebody who didn't use our products, you know, this is actually me, this is what I use. And I show them exactly what I use. I show them my before and after pictures, you know, and so that helps me locally for retail. I do other things as well. One of the main things too that I do is I have those things that I carry, but I also have a little bag that I always carry with me. It's always with me. This little TLC bag, you know, and inside it has my instant tea. It has my little pouches that I have, like these I have pre-made, and I put them in there with the samples. You know, I have my brewed tea as well, you know, for people that want to try the brewed tea. So I always carry this little purse, you know, this little book bag with all my products in hand. I don't walk out the door with it. You know, so I just make sure that I have product in hand, because that's key to sampling. You know, if you want people locally, make sure to sample to your to the people, because once they sample, we know the products work hands down. So once you offer them a sample, they're gonna come back. You know, my main two ones that I get, especially when I go to the gym and stuff like that and work out, is the NRG, of course, you know, and then the instant tea and the regular brew tea. Those are the ones that are mainly my more the one turnaround time as far as locally goes. Another thing is that I carry in my vehicle is I have a little case I created right here, you know, so I put other things in there as well, like the Resolution drops, the Life drops, other products in there. I have a book that I was created by another IBO where it has my personalized story as far as my before and after pictures and people that I know personally. So I created a book that helps me locally as well. And that's how I, you know, come across the retail part aspects of the offline. Another thing that I do locally is whenever I leave the house, I always have something that has TLC. These never come off. I always wear my 5 pounds in 5 days, because when I'm walking in the waiting in line at a Walmart or just you know, Sprout or anything like that, guess what? These are, and I have a green one. I took that one off, but I have a green one that stands out more. And they asked me, what is this lose 5 pounds in 5 days? That's an opener. You want to wear things that open a conversation, that people are intrigued by it. Of course, wear your shirts, you know, and depending on where I go, I also have Spanish shirts as well. I have one that says, pierde 5 libras en 5 días, basically lose 5 pounds in 5 days. So if I know that I'm going to a location where there's more Hispanics, guess what? I wear my shirt that's in Spanish. So I attract them, you know. So you want to be marketable. You want to know people. Closed mouths don't get fed. So if nobody knows that you're in business and you don't talk to anybody, and that's how a way for me to get out of my shell. was when I was out and about, because I had all these things, and so people would come up to me and ask me or things like that, start a conversation that helped me get out of my comfort zone, that helped me get out of my insecurities and everything like that, and talk to more people, you know. We also had wow parties, not just at homes, but we also had it at different locations. And so that allowed each of us as business partners to practice. You know, if you have a group locally that you have like mind, that you guys are able to work together and everything like that, go and get a location where you can throw, if there is none thrown by any leaders, go ahead and throw, you know, create one, you know, create one locally. And that's how I was able to practice in front of people, you know, a situation where I had to be in front of a church by myself. Guess what? I had enough practice beforehand so that I can actually go ahead and speak in front of the church, you know. So go ahead and get together with like-minded people and get a location if there's none in your area, you know, and go ahead and do events. And if there's, you know, bring other IBOs together. And if there is no guest, guess what? We never took an opportunity. We always took advantage of an opportunity. Guess what? If nobody showed up as a guest, we still presented, because that was our time for getting practice in front of a crowd, and also learning more about the products. And we also trained each other. So we always had a Q&A session where we talked, you know, do you know about this? Do you know about that? We talked about different things, so that even though there was no guest involved at the event, we still took advantage of that time and trained each other and practice. So that's a good opportunity for you to do. But that's what I did, or to do offline when it comes to my retail. I build relationships with my clients. You know, I've been invited to different parties, you know, graduations, different things like that. And I build a relationship offline. You know, one of my customers that I met her online, you know, she's locally, so I met her yesterday offline. She wanted her tea. I didn't even have a chance to get home and rest, but she wanted to get her tea, but I was able to go to her house, deliver her tea, and guess what? You know, give her some information, gave her some advice. She also told me that she lost 32 pounds, you know, with just changing her eating habits and also drinking the tea. So build a relationship. You know, I met her kids, you know, talk with them a little bit. One of her kids is going to be getting on the tea as well, you know, and so build a relationship. And that's what I do offline as far as when it comes to retail and increasing my retail sales and my clientele as well. Word of mouth is another thing that I do. Of course, the banners and things like that. Now what I want to do is go over some of my online retail that I do. And the reason why, you know, basically I was on Facebook and I was, you know, online and exposing my business, but I knew there was a different way of marketing it. There had to be a different way of marketing. I was in different groups and things like that to get that exposure and to learn and everything like that. And then I was able to encounter internet currency when Stanisha came locally to Atlanta, and she introduced a system. And that's how I was introduced to how to format and that there was a system in place to follow and guide as far as what to do online so that I can increase my retail sales online. And what I, you know, due to my mother passing away, I had to, you know, determine, okay, I need to leverage my time. And by the grace of God, I was introduced to Stanisha's group as far as the internet currency, and then now the copy paste paid as what it's called. So with that, I was able to do both and leverage my time, you know, and be able to market both offline and online and increase. Since I've been able to do both, and since I've been able to get online, I've actually increased my retail sales. You know, I had my offline, but then with the online market, I've been able to increase my, you know, my income even more. And what's funny is that because I increased online, or because I went online more and it got more exposure, I've been able to increase my offline. And the reason why I've been able to increase my offline is because I go into do groups that are local. You know, I've been able to go into different apps like Let Go and OfferUp that are also locally that you can also download and use, you know, to get local, get local retail, you know, and get local clientele. And that's another way I build my local market, you know, and my local clientele. But what I do for one is I go onto my personal page. One of the main things online that you want to do when you're on your Facebook, make sure that your Facebook is public. You don't want to have it private, because if you do have it private, what happens is that you're not exposing your business. It's kind of like being closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not don't have it public, nobody knows that you're in business but your family and friends. You know, so you want to make sure that you go into your settings, your privacy, and then you turn your activity to public. And that's also good, because if you're in copy paste paid or in any type of those juice groups that we have, you want to make sure that you are public. And the reason why is because if you and I are not friends, if you go in there to try to juice you and try to help you by commenting and liking your post, I cannot. Why? Because you are set to private, so I don't have access. But if you make sure that you are public, anybody, regardless of whether you're friends or not, can go ahead and help you on your business, on your personal page by juicing you. You know, and you want to have more exposure in your client, you know, to your business. You want to expose your business. Another thing that helps with that is that if people are trying to find you, you are searchable. You want to be searchable. For the longest time, I just, you know, through this weekend, I wasn't making myself searchable on internet, you know, so that was hindering me. So I've turned it on. So make sure that you're also you're able to be searchable online, and also have your Facebook page public. And how I do on my personal page is I do an inspirational in the morning. I do before and afters, you know, to grab people that are there, and also people that are public, you know, not your friends and family, but people that are following you incognito, you know, but you just want to have people that are, you know, you just want to be exposed online. So make sure that you're public, you know. And so I put my before and after pictures. I put, you know, about the business as well. I do a variety of different things. We have a system in place for the copy paste paid. You follow that daily activity, go into different groups. I'm able to go into different groups locally and outside of my area and expose it to different people. And so that's how I get a lot of my clientele as well online. So instead of me, I've been through my list, my family and friends list. So now I'm able to go beyond them. I don't bother them anymore, because I have strangers that are purchasing from me, you know. So I go worldwide, you know. Like I told them, I'm going to take this to Panama. I already have some tea in Panama, you know, but this is a business that you can go worldwide. So you want to be open publicly, and you want to go into different groups, you know, things that are your interests that you like. Build up conversations, build up relationships, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Facebook has changed to where you are, you know, public to everybody, you know, or you have to build a relationship with people. So go into groups, do your personal page, and add people. You know, that's one thing that I'm working on too, adding more friends to your list, adding more friends so that you can get more exposure. You know, my retail is mostly in groups than my personal page. You know, that's where I get a lot of my retail from, is people I don't know. What I do, another thing that I do that is key is I do a lot of sales. I do offline sales and I do online sales.
Janet, it looks like you timed out there. Looks like your Wi-Fi dropped. I apologize. So much great information, so many good comments in the feed. Everyone really, really appreciate it. The information that you've shared. Janet, it looks like you timed out there. Looks like your Wi-Fi dropped. I apologize. I want to thank everyone for joining. I think we'll sign it off here. Great information. And we look forward to next week's interview. And we also look forward to Thursday night's Turn Up TNT call. This is Scott Bania, your communications officer, signing off. Again, apologize for that technical difficulty, but pretty sure she covered just about everything. And I think she was getting ready to close it out. So I just want to say thanks to everyone who joined. Have a great evening. Oh, you're back. You want to close it out, Janet?
Yes. Sorry about that. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I actually had more, but I'm looking at the time as I went. But basically, I go online, do as far as Facebook goes, I use Facebook majority of the time. I also go to Instagram. And what I found, just a tidbit on Instagram, is on Instagram, if you use hashtag, and I learned that you can have a HashMe, it's called HashMe app. You can download it and it gives you the top 20, top 30 HashMe hashtags that you can put on your Instagram, and that's how I've been able to. I do both.
We lost you again, Janet. It looks like we lost Janet. I know she's facing some problems in her home. She had some flooding and she had to, move and set up in a different location away from her modem. So do apologize for that, but I think we have enough to chew on for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And again, God bless everyone. You are all amazing. Good night.